Wonderful. I'll go ahead and switch into... Oh, do you like the new stinger?
Stinger?
Whoops. Hold on. I forgot to do... I forgot to actually bring up the art beforehand. Okay. Let's go ahead and get Aki open here. Okay. Do you have the stream open?
I do.
Okay. This is the stinger. This is the new one that Phasia's made. More tails.
Swish. Swish. Double swish.
Okay.
Lo-fi Zelda?
Yes. I figured I'd do something different today. Today is Zelda and Chill by someone named Michael TBE. So, hold on. Let me copy. And they said their stuff is good. Just please stream it a lot. And they said, stream often, save them, and play the favorite tracks often. So,
Yeah.
it seems like this will be a little bit easier for... Okay, there. Now, where were we? I had planned to... Oh. I must have copied the link instead of the actual image. Okay, copy image. Delete message. There we go. Open in browser. Okay, so today is... This is set 9. Okay. Hello, Sasha. How are you today? Good to see you. Let's see. Let's reduce this. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm feeling pretty bleh today too as well. So hopefully you feel better soon. Okay, so today we need... Okay, so we need this. Let's see. We can actually probably copy the form from here. Let's copy this. Let's hello, you cake. Hello. Hello, everyone. How is everyone? Oh, okay. There we go. I can also make myself a little louder. Yes, this is quite difficult. Is this too loud? Okay. Let's do this. Manipulate this so it goes back here. Grab inner node. Go over here. Yes, it has been quite a while. Oh, let me pause this just for a moment then for you. あらら、久しぶりですよね。どうしてこんなにこと長くなっちゃったの？あらら、他の人見てたの？あら、あらら。でも戻ってきてくれてありがとね。あら、あらら。じゃあ、おかえり。あらら、サシャ。So, how have you been? Oh, and just for reference, for the people who weren't here last time, I am following a guide that has 36 different frames made by the ever lovely YouTuber you see here. Oh, VTuber Kozichu. So, there are 36 different frames to make. So, this is the 9th one. It's a copy of my 8th one, but I'm like adjusting from there. So if you have any questions, do let me know. Yeah, it's a lot of work, but there's something special about seeing it, like all of your efforts kind of come together. And like knowing that you worked really hard on it and yet it's like managing to come together somehow. This might be a little too wide. No, this is probably fine. Okay. But this should be a very gentle curve. Oh, that looks really bad. Let's see. I kind of don't like this bend. Let's straighten this up a little bit. yeah, the like, and I've been like I found out that like a lot of the cutting I did was technically like I know I wasted at least a full session worth because like I didn't need to cut both her eyes, for example. But it was one of those things where like I just thank you, Ronnie. Where I just
And
had
remember, hydrate or die.
where I just didn't have the experience to know that that was like how it was gonna work out. So
It's not always about the ooh. Sometimes it's about the ara ara.
where this one should be like a little, definitely a much more gradual curve. But if these are the anchor points. Are you bonking me? Why? What did I do? Yay. This feels like carrot and the stick, kind of Pavlovian. Where it's just like.
By the way, if you look at it a different way, she's bonking you to make your head sore and then rubbing it in to make it more sore.
That's true. How cruel. Ow, ow, ow. I thought this was supposed to be comforting. It's fine though.
Good job.
But yeah, it's a lot of just like cross-referencing your guide. And everyone was saying like, for the love of heaven, find a guide. Don't try to figure this out yourself. You will waste so much time. It is not worth it. This looks relatively close, but I think it should have been more narrow maybe, but it might be okay. Let's grab both of these and move them a little bit here. Okay. And then we can go to her inner mouth. And then move. Wait, no. Inner mouth is fine. I want to move her top down a little bit here. And then her skin needs to get pulled back to match the edges here. Like, I would very much like to have someone else do it, but at the same time, it's so satisfying, like, kind of going through the whole process myself. I'm learning so much. And this way, if there's like anything I ever end up not liking about Aki, like my first rigging pass, like I can do a V2. Or like it's not like, oh, someone else did this, I have no idea how to fix this. Yes, it is Garuda Valley. I always liked that track. Garuda Valley and Song of Storms I've always liked a lot. Zelda has amazing music, just in general. Okay. And then if I want her upper tooth. That's kind of cute. It's like not as open as the first one. Well, technically it's more open. It's just hard to slide along the like lines because I'm not done with everything else, like the other expressions yet. So like the in-between frames don't look very good. Hi Riella, how are you? And Sasha, how much did it cost? That seems like it would be pretty expensive. I'm okay, I just have a splitting headache. But aside from that, life is okay. I feel like this might need to be a smaller, but I think we'll come back to this once I get to the next pieces. Alright. So in this case, I think it would be good to borrow from this frame. Let's grab everything here. Shift Control C. Up to this point. Move to lock in. Shift Control V. Cool. Let's see. So in this case, lower lip should be. Pull this down a little bit so I can work on it. Should be a relatively straight downwards curve. Oh wow, that is super lucky, wow. Let's hide the mesh so I can actually see the lines. Like the problem is that like my lines were like drawn to be kitty face at first, so like they'll always be kind of kitty unless I like redo it as like one solid brown line, which might be easier honestly. But yes, that is an amazing deal, especially if your model is like really complicated. Oh, definitely. This is a problem that I think I'm gonna end up needing to do a redraw to fix. Like the actual art for Aki, hold on. Let me go back and pull her reference art up. Oh, then yeah, you're super indebted now. Isn't it the best feeling? Okay, let me go back to show you the other Aki. So this is her like 2D art, like the actual art that I'm rigging from. But like you can see how her mouth is naturally kind of like happy curvy kitty mouth a little bit, like very soft, but still like has these distinct curves. So when we look back at Live2D, you can kind of see if I hide it, like those curves are still present, even though like I have been distorting the mesh. So it makes it look kind of awkward. Or like, the solution to this is technically to make them like solid lines. I'm actually curious to try something. Like, if I change her lower lip so that it's a solid line, I wonder how that'll affect everything. It'll have a pretty huge effect because like I rigged everything according to this, but it's also early enough that if I do end up liking it better that way, it might not be fun. Like I want her upper lip to still stay like kind of kitty. Like see they're actually copies of each other right now. Okay, worst case, it's very easy to fix this because right now her upper and lower lips are exact copies of each other. So if I want to undo this, it's just recopy the upper lip down. But for now, let's get my tablet on. Let's see. This is kind of like the midpoint, right? Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing good. Got home a little bit early, even though I did work overtime today.
Congrats.
Art stream today.
Yes. I really don't like the opacity for that. I just wanted it as a guideline. Okay. In that case, what we can do is just make straight lines. Like, I'm curious if having it be like a natural line will make it a lot easier. And then I'll just redeform it to make the kitty faces. Worth a shot, right? Like, again, worst case that happens is it's like, no, this is bad, I have to redo. Oh, okay. Thank you for dropping by. Yeah, I missed you too. It's good to see that you're doing well and that you're coming by. So thank you so much.
Have a good day.
Thankfully, like, fixing this for the purposes of my experiment shouldn't take very long. Like, I'm almost done already. And since it's only one layer change, like, the rig on it should be fine. Now it's just cleanup. And I'm curious to see, like, if this will actually be an improvement or if it'll actually make things worse. Experiments like this are kind of fun. They're also kind of scary.
Hey, Aki, are you streaming Live2D or something else? Because it's on the
Oh,
Live2D stream.
shoot. Thank you. I was remaking
Sorry, I
her...
didn't mention it sooner.
Thank you. I was redoing her lower mouth. As instead of like a curve, it's gonna be like a straight line. And I wanted to see if doing this, it ends up looking better than having the natural curve. For her lower lip at least. Because I noticed some pretty bad discrepancies as a result of doing it the other way.
So this line that you're drawing right now, that's going to be the lip that, or the mouth line that's going to be like moving around, right? And
Yes.
changing shape.
Mm-hmm.
So do you have to account for like stretch and pull when you're animating it?
Yes.
Do you have to draw like multiple frames of reference?
No.
Or
I
is
mean,
it
yes. Like, the way that I rig it is creating multiple frames of reference.
Okay.
So, like, for example, you can kind of see, like, it's a little different now. Like, thankfully, this is easy to fix if I want to change it back. But I'm just curious about the experiment. That's amazing. Yay! A fox reminded you of me. That makes me happy.
The messenger of Aki.
My messenger came by and was like, hey, she's streaming. Please go see. She's sad without you. Please come back. Please watch. Okay. Let's go on back to Live2D. So now, after I re-import this, I will kind of show you how I'm actually rigging this. I think that will shed a lot of clarity on why I wanted to do this. Do this, replace. Okay. I don't know why it keeps grabbing this specifically. Interesting. So what I was trying to do is if you look at her lower lip, you can kind of see how, since it's naturally curved, there's like a bunch of deformations in it.
Yeah, and rather than like manually fixing them, you want to make it straight from the get-go.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. But interestingly, it doesn't seem to have actually changed anything. which is both hilarious and painful at the same time.
That's why I was wondering if Live2D had like multiple keyframes that you can put into one parameter. Because when you deform a line, you're technically lowering the quality. So if there was a way to enter multiple states, like where you could redraw the mouth at different states and it would look higher quality.
I'm wondering, like, maybe? But if so, then, like, there might be... That might just be... I'm not good enough to know how to do that yet. But it does look like it has changed a little bit. Like, it might also be that I should... like, check my rig for the lower lip. Let's go back to default. Ah, misclick.
Ah.
Like, see, it looks like it's still the default, right? Like, you can see where there are very clearly, like, bendy lines. Which is a little upsetting. Okay. So it doesn't seem to have actually made much of a difference. Or is that because I've already rigged it and like, I can't easily go back and... You can tell it's like slightly different. Because like this expression now looks lower quality than it was. Like you can tell like there's been a little bit of a change to the underlying art. And now there's like a little bit of mouth opening here. Okay. I don't think that actually worked. So the bright side is to fix this, I can just go back in, duplicate this layer and say like, if I want to keep this for reference, like maybe I want to work on it later, I can make it like unused, turn it off, and then go back to upper lip, turn everything else off here. But yeah, I can unhide this, lasso this entire thing. Actually, I can just make a duplicate of this layer. I don't even need to lasso it.
Another thing I'm wondering is if there's a way that you could just render the mouth with vector art instead of having it from the PSD file or the CSP. because with CXP it's going to be raster images, which means that stretching and deforming isn't look as good.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's a way you could do it where just the mouth itself was a vector image,
Mm-hmm.
or if I can find something like that.
Export. Back to Live2D. Reopen. I lost probably only about 5 or 10 minutes with that. Not too terrible. It was worth the experiment. Oh, I think I messed up. Undo? Oh, I see what I did. So this is what I did on accident. I forgot to rename this to lower lip. Thankfully, it's a pretty simple solution. Thank yous for the head pats. Head pats are the bestest. Hello, Bard Guy. How are you today? Good to see you. Look, you get super big head pat now. How's everything? That's great to hear. Hopefully things keep going alright. And Indra has extended the head pat even better. I'm wondering, what if I do a thing where, like, every time people head pat me, it just gets bigger? Like, even bigger.
Do not tempt me. I have 60k points.
Oh god.
Actually, you gotta extend the head fat.
Thank yous. Oh no. Wow. Everyone is having so much fun. This makes me happy. Wow. It's even
That's
bigger
a
now.
long head fat.
Wow.
How long until there's nothing but head pat on the screen?
Very soon. I'm actually having trouble extending it further. There. This is great. Except for now you can't see anything.
Gotta figure out some way to like put a script up where every single time you get a head pat, it goes up 5% or 10%.
Okay. Everyone is enjoying the head pat so much.
2 more. Oh, Rich is just talked in 4.
The entire screen is head pat now. Hi. Hi. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. This is the bestest. Wow. I'm happy everyone is having so much fun head patting. Okay, I'll leave it up for a really long time. But I can't actually, like, work anything with this. So, let's move this down. can still do it like right here. Congratulations, you created a head pet hype train. There,
Now, if only that was a thing.
I know, right?
Anyway, I sent you a link to a tutorial that mentions something about clipping materials and the disadvantages of using them for mouths. Is that what we're using here?
No. Clipping is entirely different. So, like, for example, like you see how... Hold on. Like, you know how when I roll my head around, a bunch of my highlights disappear? So,
Yeah.
like, roll my eyes. Hold on, I can show that. Like how if I roll my eyes up, you see how, like, the blue one, like, the highlights go away?
Mm-hmm.
That's because they're masked behind my eyelash. Like, and then my eyes cannot leave the white of my eyes because my iris is clipped to my eye white.
Gotcha.
I enjoy just playing around with her expressions sometimes. It's really fun. The hard part is that, like, since everything isn't perfectly matte, wait. This looks different now. Did I remember to re-import her lower lip? Gotta make sure it stays below the upper lip. If I fix this, I think this will be a little bit better. Despite it being frustrating, this is still pretty relaxing to me. Okay, that's better. Let's hit the mesh. I see. There were some things that I missed before that weren't quite up to code, so to speak. Okay, so this one point right here is to blame. And then for her upper lip, which point is to blame there? Okay, that's weird. I don't know why that's so far up. This one needs to be a little bit further down. But see how much fine-tuning you need to do to, like, make sure that it looks okay? So the problem here is that, you see how, like, that point moves up a little bit too far? to fix that, I can move this point down a bit at the keyframe so that the transition between them is a little less exaggerated.
Okay, so like micro adjustments, basically.
Yeah, there we go. That's better.
Nice.
And then over here.
And not to like rub it in anyone's face, but I just got Dorothy on my first pull.
Oh, she's out now!
Yep.
I need to pull for her later. I might do a late night mini K stream or something. I like even though like you can tell like the art is lopsided here, I don't know why, but this is like, even though it's lopsided,
It looks like a nervous.
it looks like a
looks
nervous like
smile.
I'm so happy I don't know how to smile properly, and it's adorable and I love it. Yeah, the this part, like all of the rest of the frames are the same because I kind of like left myself like a very basic outline. So that's why you can see like the between frames here look bad. It's because I'm not good at drawing perfectly, like almost perfect horizontal. But I am gonna have to adjust all of the in-between frames. So let's move this so that it locks back in. Yeah, okay, I think this is fine. Alright, so let's go back over here. Yeah. Agree. It makes me happy. Like, it's a very simple thing, but it was intentional. It was to ease the burden of like having to figure out how to do the thingy, but at the same time it's also just like really cute. Anyway, so I need to figure out how to do this. Should be like a fairly nice smile. Her mouth isn't that open. It's not like a big wide mouth smile, but it's a like, it's a, your teeth are showing, like happy top smile. But given the fact that like Aki's teeth, like her top is just like a happy single thing. Like right now I'm working on her lower lip. Yeah, so this should be mostly the same, but like maybe not as wide. So, and even more gradual. I kind of don't like my path deformers. Hold on, I need to like, I'm trying to like kind of put the path deformers at like nice intervals. Okay. This looks a little bit better in terms of mapping the actual path. So then here, I'll make this a little more gradual. This is probably okay for the bottom for now. Maybe a little bit higher. Alright, let's melt the top around it. So, in this case, top is actually just like a fairly straight line. Though I'm probably going to keep just a little bit of the kiddiness in it just because it'll make the lines look a little bit less unhappy. Something like that. But now we need to do one of these ops. But you can kind of see like how if you want it to look good, you have to worry about quite a lot of things. Where I'm not at a point where I think I can 100% say that this is good, but I think it's at a point where it'll work for now. I would be interested in having like one of the more experienced riggers like look over my work and like give me advice and stuff later though. Yes, I don't want to do that right now. What I do want to do is pull this down. Not that far down. To the dungeon with you. She has bottom teeth, but I haven't like gotten to a point where we get to see them and see if that works or not. Like right now they're just hidden with all her animations. But I've finished so far. I feel like the line itself is fine, but just thinner. thinner still. Like this, maybe. But kinda like that, but I don't like the way that this part doesn't attach. Better. Okay. And then let's grab her upper tooth. Move this over a little bit. Grab her lower teeth. No, I think we don't need her lower teeth yet. Ah, pain pickle. I want this line to be just a little bit thinner though. So that if I go far away. Okay. That's not as bad. Of course, now we have to get the skin to match. I hope everyone has enjoyed their super long head pat.
It has rejuvenated me.
I am glad. I hope everyone is rejuvenated. By the way, these are also like, if you have questions or like just want to chat about stuff, Mobby, whatever, these are also good streams to ask those sorts of things. I really like the top, but I don't like the bottom. Can I make this even thinner, maybe? Oh, I see why. I think that's better though. We're getting somewhere. I can turn this down a little bit. Same thing over here to get these to overlap. Okay, cool. Now I just need to fix the skin, and I think this might be good for a V1. Congrats, you cake. 34 magic attack now, right? Or does it get magic attack from gem upgrade? I don't remember. Okay. So I think you're at 31 then? Oh, okay. I think this is another fairly cute expression. I'm trying to figure out like how I want her thing to factor in here. That's kind of cute. Maybe if I show just a little tip again. Let's see, do I want to move her tongue a little bit, perhaps? Yeah, I think this is good now. A little derpy, little tiny derpy smile.
It's got the start of an
Like
expression.
like cool. All right, let's copy this as a reference into our Control Shift C unhead. Let's go over here. Lock this back in.
Terrifying.
You said it's terrifying?
Absolutely terrifying.
The fact that like her mouth is bigger than like everything.
It's bigger on the inside.
Yes. Okay, so for this one, we need the same expression, but wider. With more showing, and like this will move upwards a little bit. For more smiling, actually no, that's an adjacent position. Let's undo that move. Okay, now we just fix the skin again. Despite myself, I am somewhat enjoying myself playing with the edges.
I spend mileage points on Dorothy after I've already gotten Dorothy. Do I still get the core?
That is the primary purpose of spending mileage points on a Nikkei after acquiring them. You cannot acquire the
Gotcha.
Nikkei from mileage points, you get their core. So you have to pull her naturally once, and then you can core her.
Gotcha.
I've been
Well, I mean,
saving a
because
lot for her.
she shows up on at the first of the list, and it shows as like her instead of the core itself.
Oh, they might have changed it then.
Yeah, so the gold mileage points you can use to get the actual character, while
Oh, cool.
the silver ones can only be used on the cores.
Yeah, but since when you get a duplicate of a character, they turn into a core.
Yeah, okay. Just wanted to make sure before I wasted the points on it.
Yeah, I've been saving gold mileage waiting for her arrival. I have like 400 something gold mileage.
Yeah, I had about the same. And you can buy more than one, so...
Yes. I used all my gold mileage on Modernia though. So like I've been
Fair.
just collecting since
Ah,
then.
that's how you got her to +7.
Yes. Plus 10 technically.
+10, yeah. Well, I mean, not counting the first 3.
Yes.
I think I actually used my gold course to pick up the very first copy of Modernia since I wasn't able to actually
Like pull
draft
her.
her out. Yeah,
Oh.
so yeah.
Okay, so
I
it's been
can
that way for
confirm
a
it.
while then. Good to know.
Oh yeah, I also just broke the 140 barrier.
Congrats.
Congrats. And you're already set for 160, so you don't even have to worry about it.
Well, yeah, but core dust is like the main issue right now.
It will always be the main issue from here on out.
Yeah. I've been converting all my boxes to core dust boxes.
Yeah, going especially above 200, like it's just all core dust
All core dust all the time.
forever. Like it's not even remotely close. You need 10k core dust per level.
Ugh. Ugh.
It is legitimately not even close.
Welcome to Nikkei, where the currency doesn't matter and everything's core dust.
Exactly.
I mean, at the very beginning, currency was like a huge barrier,
Yeah.
and now it's not. Ah, I finally got my first gold order as well.
Congrats.
No spoilers, Intra.
No story spoilers, but yes.
Did you know someday people die?
Nikkei aren't technically considered humans. And they're
But I didn't say
functionally
humans, I
immortal.
said people.
But they're functionally immortal.
Fair.
Which stream were you doing when you broke out into laughter reading something similar to that?
Hmm?
I don't remember which stream it was, but you were like, people die. You were reading something similar to like, people die when they die or something like that. And then you just broke
People
out.
die if they are killed.
Yes.
Yeah, something like that. You just broke out into like a laughing fit. I just don't remember what the stream content was.
I don't remember either.
I mean, the meme is from Fate,
Yes.
where I think his name's Shiro.
Mhm.
Correct.
The main character was like making a point about how when people die, or when people are killed, they die. But like
Mhm.
in context, it was supposed to make a lot more sense, even with the garbage translation.
I remember covering the context behind this. I think it was last stream even. Does anyone remember? If not, I'll just go over it again. Or, well, people who weren't here, I can go over it for them again as well. Just for...
I'm not like a huge Fate fan, so I don't remember myself.
Oh, okay. They were engaging Hercules, essentially. And when people are... Well, I will start a little bit higher. So Fate Zero is about a bunch of historical figures from historical/mythological figures having to fight each other in a death battle tournament. That is
In
the
modern
one
day
sentence.
Japan.
Yes, in modern day Japan. That is the one sentence summary of Fate. Like, just Fate. Stay Night in general.
Except maybe Khalid, but we don't talk about Khalid.
Yes. I don't think Khalid has Fate Stay. No, Ryu. He was fighting Berserker at the time, who in this particular instance is Hercules. And all of the individual heroes, as they're called, the people who get resummoned, have a special ability that's kind of based on their characteristics when they were alive. So Hercules' special ability is the 12 labors, is related to his 12 labors. Since he overcame 12 like gigantic hardships and all that, he has 12 lives. So if you kill him, his eyes glow, he heals up, and then you have to kill him again. And you have to kill him 13 times total to actually get him to stay down.
He's cheating.
So they finally pull off one like, and him being Berserker means he's already like way strong. So no. They kill Berserker the first time, and Shiro, like, after his eyes glow and he just completely regenerates back to full and like continues attacking them, Shiro freaks out like, what the hell? People die when they are killed. Why isn't he dead? Because no one
But
knows.
the way the line is delivered at the anime is so bad. It makes it sound like he's trying to reveal some secret. People die if they are killed.
Yeah, like they're having a strategy meeting and he's like, clearly he's not a normal person because people die when they are killed. But
Hero, please.
yes, it's quite hilarious. Okay, so this is the same expression yet even wider.
And with more tooth.
Yeah, even more tooth. Well, it's less mouth wide. It's just like you definitely do get to see more tooth because like it's the same expression but like wider. Tooth. Big tooth.
Singular, not plural, man.
It's the floof tooth.
The floof tooth. Tooth. I should be careful about moving the center. Okay, so if this is the center, I want to alt and extend on both sides so that the center doesn't change. Oh, okay. Am I just telling the wrong story then? If so, that's actually kind of sad. And this is supposed to move up a little bit.
I think you're gonna have a lot of stream content for Nikkei. The new event looks pretty dope.
Like, my problem with the events is that like you can't do them day one unless you have unless you waste material.
Maybe, but this one's a bit different than the last few. It's got like its own map and everything, and you play
Okay.
as Dorothy.
After trying tonight, if I have time, I might play a little bit of Nikkei on stream. I think that might be interesting.
I almost don't want to progress into this because I'll just follow along with you.
Okay. Let's see. Dun 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 dun. I have not, Indra. I have played it, but I never finished it. In no small part due
When you say finish it, do you mean like the first ending, or do you
No, I
mean
haven't even
all
gotten
of
to
the
the first
endings?
ending.
Oh, that's like a third of the way through the game.
Yes. Because I grinded like heck, overground for a bunch of chips and stuff. So I guess people are aware of like the levels and stuff in the game, right?
Yeah.
I think I'm in my 30s.
I don't remember what level I was when I finished the game, but
Maybe closer to 40.
I don't remember if it carries over into the next chapter.
In-game level.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
That's good to know.
Level carries over. Oh.
It's a good story, but I wish like it was something that you could discuss on stream.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's such a good story, but not a lot of people have actually finished the game.
Yeah.
Oh, but they have the anime out too. I wonder if it goes over everything.
I would expect it to. I would be very surprised if it didn't. But yes, the point of me bringing that up is just, and I have diamond ranks in most of my chips. Like all of the chips that I considered important are like diamond rank. In particular, my rare drop chips are diamond 5 and diamond 4 because those stack to 90% together, and that's the max that it caps at. That alone took me hours of farming. And then I think I've got Shockwave, Diamond 6-star or something. I have like Auto Regen 6-star.
Jesus.
And
I think I waited until my next run before I did that.
like, you know how there's that parade escort mission that you're really not expected to be able to clear when you gain access to it?
I think so.
There's like a clown near a certain entrance that's just like, hey, I want to like celebrate peace, please, but all the other things don't think so, so please protect us. Yeah, Anil.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can almost clear that. Like, I got close enough to clearing it that I like intentionally stopped protecting
you are
them.
literally expected to wait till the next run.
Yes, I can clear that. Like,
Oh,
basically.
God.
That is the level that I'm at, and like how geared I am.
Wait, so were you also able to clear that like the robot samurai guy?
Don't think I've even gotten that far yet.
There's like a guy on a rooftop. It's like a super side quest.
Oh yes, yes,
like...
I have killed him. He has.
Oh my God.
Yes.
That took me like 5 hours on my second run.
Yes, it did not take me as long as that.
And then again, I was still like barely learning the counter.
Yes, but I have finished him off. Or at least if I have gotten as far as the game will let me if I haven't finished him off.
Oh yeah, because you have to fight him multiple times, I forgot.
Yes. I have fought him quite a few times. Oh, that's mildly terrifying, isn't it?
Especially with the wide eyes, oh my God.
Oh, those aren't the wide eyes. Those are just her normal eyes.
I'll make them wide.
These are
I
the
need to
wide
see.
eyes.
Oh my god.
Well, you better check it out. I like how this is just like this absolutely terrifying. Like, what have you done?
I saw what you did in the schoolyard yesterday.
I saw what you did, Yuki. You're
Oh,
not
no.
cheating on me, are you, Yuki? Yuki. Yuki.
What are you doing with that Uzi?
It's just to ensure that you won't run away, Yuki. You wouldn't be looking at Asahina, would you?
I gotta go.
Good. Owie. Already have a headache. Good. No time like the present. Just make sure that they don't get up again. Just remember, if you don't make sure that they stay down, they might get up again and cause trouble for you later. Therefore, if you wish to make sure that everything is okay and that your business is concluded, you should absolutely, positively make sure that they are either permanently incapacitated or dead.
I don't like where this is going. I mean, I do, but the flesh is weak.
Remember, dead people can't hurt you. Everyone will be happy. Like this, right?
No. No.
Everyone will be happy this way. Yes?
Let me go. I want to go home.
I love her expression right now while I'm saying this. It's perfect.
It's perfect. You need to have like a preset button you can just press. Even better if you can animate it with the eyes jiggling like left and right in 1 frame intervals.
Just like this. Everyone will eventually.
No. Christ. It's terrifying.
Oh, it's so much fun playing with her. You can't stand the trashy drops anymore. Heads roll roll. That's the bestest way. So if you don't want heads to roll, improve the drop rates. I will come to your home and ruin your day.
And I don't roll more pilgrims.
Violence isn't a question. Sorry, violence is a question. You say. Fascinating. So in other words, that's a little bit too low. I see. This goes up here. I can expand this out a little bit and make this go up a little bit. This red dot right there needs to go up a little bit more. And then this can shift it down.
I'm back. What did I miss?
You missed the
Our
most exciting. I got to be psychotic Ike for a little bit.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
It was great.
I should have clipped it.
Oh, you did?
I should have. I didn't. I was too terrified.
That's truly a shame. Let me see. I kind of want to move her tongue a little bit for this one. Or do I want to show her lower teeth? How about... no, that's actually one piece up. What about your lower teeth, Aki? Can I slide them on up here? No, that looks wrong. Okay. Undo. Agreed. AO South, you hated G21? Why? Okay. Let's see. So for this one, we want to take the form from here, grab everything, copy happy. I felt like Divine Nights was also pretty long. Okay. So this should be like, as we go up, her mouth should get wider. Why is mouth opening? Like her mouth should open more. So. There is a part in one of the later gens where it's like you need to gather 10 coconuts to make some medicine for somebody. That's kind of weird.
I believe that's G25.
Yeah. I remember giving the tip on how to do that efficiently.
I just bought them from the AH, to be honest.
But if you'd used my tip, it would have only taken you a couple of minutes.
Well, I already did it before you gave the tip.
Fair.
Final mission, gather 50 potatoes to save Aaron.
Not enough minerals. Oh, what's your example? What happened? No. Like, yes, you're supposed to use divinity, but a lot of, like, if you're strong enough, it's a lot better to just cancel divinity and fight him without using it. Because everything in it is like rank F or something. Like, it's... Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh. What is this? Okay. What is this nonsense?
Nonsense.
Nonsense. Hi. Sore, 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 sore. Sore, sore. There we go. Cool. Okay. That fixes that. And now... Can I bring your teeth up a little bit, maybe? Hold on. I think I need to mesh her teeth separately. Like, their mesh is really odd. Solo! Okay, yeah, their mesh is weird. Manual mesh. Also, why is there like a flower bud on the like edge there? Oh no. It's one of those!
What is it?
See how there's like a random piece over here?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Could you just delete that? Like, is
Yes.
it necessary? Okay.
hold on. Let me save all of my
And
work so far.
remember,
Oh, thank you, Ronnie.
hydrate or die.
Stretchしなきゃ。My legs are frozen. Emotional. Oh my god. But yeah, to delete that, I have to go back into the other thingy. Thankfully, it's a pretty simple fix, but still. Be right back. I'm gonna go get hydration.
Hydration.
Oh my god. Oh, my head hurts. Stretchy stretch, stretchy stretch. Point. Point. I return.
Welcome back.
Thank you. You've got this, Ale. Remember, hopium is copium, but with the power of friendship. Super tail swipe.
Man, I wonder who made that.
Yes, fancy. Thank you.
Oh, open mouth.
Ah, nom.
Vor stream.
Wait, we're getting abortion for free?
I don't even have to
Pay
use
for that.
points for it?
Wow.
Free nightmares. It's free.
It's free real estate. Wait, why are there like weird particles here? That awkward moment when I'm like playing with my. I needed my mouse and I needed my hands free, so I was actually using my I was holding my thingy, my tablet pen with my toe. And then I like flipped it up. Like, I got this. Andra, thank you for continuing, Head Pat. Okay, that should have fixed the issue. Turn everything back on. Turn off the unused one. Save. Hi, save. Save this.
Save this.
Save this.
Save this.
Okay. Now we reopen and the original file. Interesting that this doesn't show up. Like the dialogue that I'm going through doesn't show up. I will add it. I will see if I can add it. Okay.
The dialogue?
Yeah.
Oh, the dialogue window.
Yeah. I'm gonna see if I can get it to work. Okay, there, you can see it.
Oh, nice.
I don't know why it keeps adding that one image, but I will delete it every time. Okay, so now, if we look at her lower teeth and hit solo, see how there's nothing over here anymore? So now if we do like a little deformation on it, it would still be good. Like see how there's no like weird spiky thingy? That's still a bit too big though, so I'm just gonna...
Like the mesh is too big compared to the everything else.
Actually, I'm gonna cancel this. Because when it goes all white like this, I can't actually see it. And I remember hearing, like, you shouldn't move your lower teeth. Oh wait, no. Your upper teeth don't move, your lower teeth do. But... Oh, MiHoYo already going all out with the Espresso Depresso Manifesto? Wait, I can't move my... Wait. Interesting, you can still see that despite there not being in the menu here. Oh, I think my Live2D may have frozen.
Uh-oh.
Oh, there we go. No, it's okay.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Oh, there we go. It actually like froze up entirely. Okay, let's move you up. And then... God, this is hard to see. Oh no, I see where this is going. I see where this is going. Oh no! That's brutal. Wow! Seriously? That's the kind of thing that, like, the person you do this to, they find out you are die. You are die. That is some next level evil. What do you mean that he just leaves? What, like he can just go into the time differential to see where she is? And like just get his answer directly, maybe?
They're mine now.
Oh, hello! Thank you! Thank you ever so much. How are you today? Thank you so much for the follow. My eyes hurt. I couldn't see who it was. Okay, yeah, that looks better. There's a fair amount of HI3 references. That's good. I don't really like her teeth showing up yet. Ah, this is frustrating. Okay, lower teeth it is. Okay. Okay. I think I'll just go upward. Like... Wow. What does she say? Let's go up to this point. Going a little out of order, but I kind of want to try something. Oh wait, shift B. Okay. This is like the second widest her mouth can get. I think the widest might be like that. So, 2 stages.
I have returned.
Welcome, friend. Welcome to To your demise.
Welcome, comrade.
You
Wel-
are welcome back to the fold.
welcome, Konrad. Glory to Stotska. Your presence is valued. Now.
Yes, please.
Dang it, you took it before I could say it. I was literally going to say, your presence is valued. Now, papers, please. Truly, we live in a glorious age. But you know, I shall let you in secret. The hills have eyes, and they are watching you, always.
Am I gonna get bodied by a redneck? A redneck mutant?
Who knows? Enjoy your stay.
No thanks.
Here is your complimentary bottle of vodka and companion
Vodka.
polar bear.
Woodka.
Vodka. Your complimentary vodka. I suggest you make your peace.
My piss.
Lower lip skin. Why is it all folded up?
Lipkin Lippa?
Dua Lipa.
Vodka yes.
Vodka is. Vodka is. I am like vodka.
Ball vodka.
I am like of the vodka.
I'm very much like vodka. You see, I am very much like vodka. I appear very clear, very innocent on the outside, but I burn with fire that will scorch your soul on the inside.
And I'm also good for lonely nights.
Yes. Will warm your insides and your heart. But be careful of liver poisoning. Very dangerous. Enjoy in moderation. I don't know what I'm on about.
What is she even saying? Did she say moderation?
That word does not exist in Russia.
Oh no.
Gee.
Нет. Нет.
Fake Russian.
До свидания. Нет.
Imagine getting a custom Smurf Sasaki on it.
It wouldn't be the same.
Vodka's made from potatoes. Sake's made from rice. Not the same.
It's not the same.
Or rather,
Ma.
vodka's made from grain. Grain. Hydrate or die.
Good. My headache is intensifying. Tonguey, tonguey. Is this okay? Or should I have less teeth on the bottom?
That's enough teeth. As long as you are not Gagura.
Isn't this kind of cute? I don't know if I need the teeth though, like the lower teeth. Hold on, I'll just check. Oh no. Here's without the teeth. Oh, she's so cute. And her smile only gets bigger from here. Let's cut it down to size with a recapitation. I hope Oni Black Mage will start making recapitations again. Aki is cute. Good. I want to make her smile even wider. Like, this wasn't my original plan. Like, I wanted to do some other... Like, I wanted to just go left to right across the keyframes. But I want to make her smile. Like, the biggest smile. Alright, see you soon, Ronnie. If it is likely that we'll be playing Trine by the time you get back. Ah, my head hurts. So, like, I would like to, but I also kind of don't really have time. So, maybe later. Making Aki even cuter sometimes cures the... Sometimes, like, makes it okay. Talking to everyone also makes it okay. Even bigger Aki smile. I feel like the wider she smiles, the more her fangs should be visible. Which kind of sort of breaks the rule about her, like, upper jaw, like, not moving. But I feel like it would be really, really cute, so it might be okay. I'll have to examine the in-between frames after I do this one. Just to make sure.
Does Live2D have proportional editing?
What?
So, like, if you move one vertex, it moves other vertexes around it based
Yes.
on... Okay.
Not necessarily the way that you would want them to move, though.
It's a very useful tool in Blender, so...
Yeah. Like, here, there's a couple different ways. You can do this and, like, paint... See how, like, I can kind of drag these together now?
Yeah, so it'd be kind of like that in Blender, but instead you'd select a vertex first, and then anything around that vertex would move.
You can do this as well, where you can pick a couple of vertices, and, like, you see, like, the red area.
Yeah.
That shows you
like
like,
a
well,
vertex paint.
yeah, that it's like I'm moving these 3 vertices all in the same way, which isn't proportional. It's just that you manipulate them all the same way. But see how like the rest of them aren't moving, but it does
Yeah.
affect the rest
But
of
then
them.
it just looks a lot less natural.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Where, like, there are a few options for it, but like I find it easier just to contour it myself. If that makes any sense. And I don't need the... Well, I kind of want to keep the center of her mouth there, so I should expand it both ways. Like, there. This sounds like... For a second there, I could have sworn this was a Pokemon Center or like a Zelda shop. Oh wait, it's Wind Waker Windfall Island. Okay, that makes sense. Let's just say I spent a lot of time playing Wind Waker. It is a great game.
Yeah, same. I remember as a kid when me and my brother didn't really read a whole lot, so I was very confused about how to like get the sword.
Mm-hmm.
So the first 3 days of us playing the game, we were just trying to figure out how to get the sword because it's like the first step in any Zelda game.
You know what was...
And like when I figured it out, I was like, I got the sword, and nobody was fucking home to hear me.
I've cracked the logic. I've cracked the code. I have the sword. I found it. I found it.
And then my brother found it a couple days later, and claimed credit.
Wow, rude. I kind of don't like how her tooth appears to grow. What if we just go back here and like edit all of these so that her tooth is the same way now, all of them? Is that gonna update properly? Yes, yes it will. I'm just curious what this will look like. Ah, he is cute. Right, I need to lock this on. So, question. If I keep her teeth uniform like this, then like as she smiles wider, you get to see more of the thing, and it kind of like looks more natural. But I think it makes the other expressions less cute as a result.
It's like the little tiny thing is showing out.
Yeah.
Mm.
Hold on. Let me finish copying everything so you can see what I mean. So like if I do it like this and keep them all the same, then like as she opens her mouth to like smile, you can kind of see it. Like it's the whole thing, but then like as she smiles wider, like only now do you get to see the tip.
I feel like it's down too far at that point, like where the mouth is half open.
Like it should be further up, like maybe
Yeah.
here,
I don't think we should be seeing so much of the thing.
like here.
There you go. Yeah, like that.
Okay. Yeah, and that solves the problem of being able to see more of it when her mouth isn't as open as well. The copy didn't work. It's just a bit of a pain to like get the right vertex placement. Okay, let's slide down here. Recenter this one. Slide down here. Recenter this one. So now if we keep it the same way in all places now, it's... Hold on, let's hide this. So it looks like this now. I haven't done the like super wide happy smile yet, so... What do you think?
Looks good. I think you should only be able to see the bottom teeth if she smiles like really, really wide.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as long as you know the teeth are there, you won't get memed on for not having bottom teeth.
Okay. And then, since now we have a reference point here, let's unhide this. Grab this entire thing. Go to the super wide, like happiest, biggest smile Aki has. Which is gonna be kind of hard. 'cause-
Ultra smile.
Yes.
The smile to end all smile. Wait a minute, that sounds bad.
To rule all smiles.
There you go. Yeah.
Yes. Like,
To the wave.
Like, Aki literally
As
doesn't
your curves.
ever look happy in this. I feel like one of my dots on the other side disappeared when I did undo. Cause like, yeah, there's supposed to be a path to farm right here. Oh my god. Wow. That's so dark. No. I can only imagine.
What is this in reference to?
Probably Honkai Star Rail.
Okay, start real quest lines.
Are you
I was
familiar?
gonna say, in real life, that's super fucking sad.
Mihoyo just loves to pile on emotional damage. Nikke is the same way, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I noticed.
By the way, if you don't play for a long time, guess what?
They hate you or something?
They don't really hate you, but when you come back, you'll
Or they
get
wonder where you've been or something?
Yeah. They'll be like, we've been like kind of stuck here, and even
Emotional, damn it.
even Rappy will like break her like consummate professional. Like, you know, Rappy is the consummate professional.
Yeah.
Even she will break her professionalism for a little bit. Like, she is just kind of like sitting in the commander's room, like with Neon and Ennis, just kind of like staring off into the distance. And when you come back, she's like, Commander, where were you? And then like she like, as she's about to finish that, she like realizes that she's dropped her professionalism, and then like goes like, well, welcome back, Commander. But she still looks kind of like sad.
To be being worried about me would be nice.
Hmm?
To be being worried about me sounds like it would be nice to hear. Guardian Tales does something similar. There's a character called the Princess in that one, and she's like, you know, the main damsel in distress, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And every time you come back to the game, she's like, where have you been? I've missed you so much. Now we can finally play together. She's like 9.
Aww.
And it gets even worse. Well, never mind, I can't say because spoilers, but
Yeah.
very, very good story.
Rappy, on the other hand, Anis is very like upset about you having been gone, and she yells at you for a
Yeah,
while.
Like a WTF.
Yeah. And Neon is just like, firepower!
Of course. Gunpowder everywhere.
Nah, but still. Something feels off here. I feel like the slope on each side is not quite balanced. What if, like, the ends curl up? Like that. Like she still has the, like, kind of kitty smile. I think that might be kind of cute. The Gremlin hide and seek story? No, I don't think I have. Enlighten me.
Mention.
I have not. But I have seen a meme that was like, for Yayamiko, it was like, there's this weird thing where they have like, do not grab her by her head. She will get brain damage. Like, it was like, don't pick her up by her neck. Like, you'll hurt her. Don't pick her up by her head. She will get brain damage. Open your hand and wait for her to crawl on. Like, that was the original. But they were like, it was like, hold on. Like, it's a reference to like waiting for like a hamster to crawl onto your hand. Like, and you'll be like, she will come onto your hand when she is ready. Instead, it was like, it was like, do not grab her by her fluffy ears. She will get brain damage. Give her head pats. And then extend your hand and wait for her to forgive you for abandoning her for thousands of years.
Oh God, no.
It was just like emotional damage. And it was right in like extending her hand. If you give me a little bit, I can actually pull it up on stream.
I saw it yesterday, and I don't know where I was.
This is kind of cute, right?
Yeah, big thing.
If I lower this just a little bit. Maybe. I need to like get just a little bit to show. Need a little bit more than that. Ah, yeah, yeah. Kind of like the way that they fade off into the background if I use, like, if I overextend them like that.
Yeah, it actually looks like it's intentional and not a artifact.
Yeah.
I think your teeth should only go as far as the segment where your tongue meets the top of. Not that deep, I think.
Hmm?
Like, see how your. Well, I
Like,
guess.
can we bring them, like, all the way up here, maybe?
Oh yeah, if you look at your reference images that you have on your other screen,
Yeah.
I see what Tachi's saying.
Like, go back to how you had it earlier. So see where on the right side the teeth goes past your tongue.
Yeah.
Yeah, it shouldn't go as that high. Maybe like
True.
at most,
With like half that height.
have it end exactly where your tongue meets the shadow back part.
Like, maybe here
Around.
instead.
Yeah, around there. Yeah.
Technically, I don't even need to show this much of it, but...
I wasn't even looking at the reference image. Wait a second, let me take a look. Yeah. Okay.
Wow. You can kind of see him there. Or do you think I should like make it more white like here and like maybe cut it off even lower?
No, it's fine. Because then when you move, you can see your lips brushing against like a speck of the white outline, and then it pretty much implies that there's teeth there, so it's good enough.
Yeah. Hold on. I wanna grab my lower teeth here and make it so that they're not quite so far down in this frame. Yeah, there are a lot of stories where they're just like, yeah, we're gonna hit you with the feels.
We're gonna hit you with the Doomslayer.
Gonna hit you with the feels real hard right about now. It's just like, oh, please, please no, not like this. Thing is, like, at this point I've deformed them so much that I would be like, let's make this bigger. I might pull this. Like that, maybe. I think this is kind of like a little bit better of a The Nikkei one that hurt me the most was Anne's Christmas story.
I still think about it after you've told me
Yeah.
like how that story plays out.
Yeah, I think that one actually made me cry. Like, that was so sad.
I mean, this event is going really, really hard right now.
This is from last Christmas, Indra. If I could show like old event, like cutscenes, like record galleries, I would totally pull it up on stream and just go through it.
But you can't?
Not event stuff.
Oh, that sucks.
It does. It really does.
That's
So
what YouTube's for.
13, 14. Wait, are you kidding me? I'm sad. I worked so hard today and yet I came up with... I got even less work done than last time. I wanted to get 20 done. I only got like 16. Not even 16, I got 15. Or 14, technically, depending on how you look at it. I'm at 10, 11, 12. Yeah, I'm at 14. I had wanted to get to 20. Ugh. Well, I guess like a big part of it was like I also noticed I had to like go back and fix a bunch of like in between frames. Like you can see here, like this transition needs in between frames fixed. Still though, happy Aki. She's adorable.
Horrible floof.
It makes me happy. However, I want to try making her do something creepy again. Since I'm kind of out of time.
I'll eat you all. And
I'll enjoy every last second of it. That's so fun. Derpyaki. I'm happy. Just chill, Aki. Happy. Such a good expression. Derpyaki. We're slowly getting somewhere. Oh, you want the smugaki? I actually do have a smugaki. So for smugaki, it's this, and then this face. And this is the smugaki. Smooth. Which one?
Sneaky Aki.
Really though, I am happy. I feel like this one I want to like, just like. Fine tune this just a little bit, yeah. Still, we did good today, everyone. I think I didn't go as fast as I wanted because I tried a couple of things, but still, we're making progress little by little. I'm hoping that the next one I do on Saturday, if I have more endurance and potentially more time, I can get even more done. I'm looking at the chat. Hi, chat. There we go. Back to happy normal Aki. Oh, this is so much fun. I think that going around the outside and doing like the edge cases first might actually help a lot. And going up a row instead of across the row. Like across the row requires a lot of deformation. Like compare this expression, for example, where, hold on, this isn't right. Let's get it to go back. So compare like this expression to like this expression. Where like a lot changes in going between these expressions. If there was an Aki horror game,
Didn't they have a VTuber horror game?
maybe. It would be fun to play it once Aki is done. The main thing that it's gonna take a lot of extra work though is gonna be like, I just kind of want to reflect on where we are and where we need to go. Well, Tachi, are you okay with trying today?
Yeah.
Okay. While you're setting that up, just kind of reflecting on where we are and where we need to go. The main thing, like, I'm not even done fully cutting it. I would say I want to keep a lot of this. Like, as you can see, like, her layers here, like, with the glow, need to be translated into Live2D's equivalent of that. But, aside from that, I think I'll leave her hands alone for now. Like, I wanted to cut her hands out so I can, like, potentially move them as well. I don't know how to get the mapping for that, and I don't want to, like, necessarily worry about that, because a lot of VTubers don't show you their hands all the time.
Show feet.
Here, I'm showing her feet. I hope you're happy.
I was not expecting that.
You asked for it.
Ah.
You got what you asked for. Aki looks down at her
Quick.
toes and feels slightly embarrassed.
Quick, take pictures. Put them on Only Floof.
Only floof.
Ah.
Game is up whenever we are ready.
Ah. Aki's just like,
Let me
Oh.
exit out of Nikkei.
Okay. So after we have to do that, it's after we finish all of the 36 mouth forms, it'll be finishing her hair. There are some shadow, like, I need to get her hair, all of her neck movements, her head movements, left to right, up, down, all of that good stuff. And then I have to cut boobs, figure that out, also animate this moving left to right. Like, I cut the tassel out separately, so that won't be a problem. So this can sway, like, for version 1, this whole thing will turn as one, but then the tassel will sway separately, just like her ornament. This won't move, the ornament base won't move, but the tassel will swing on its own. So, we'll see. I'm working. We're getting closer. Also, I should probably change her precedence on her eyebrows so that they are underneath her hair. I can probably just move that up here. Yes. Now her eyebrows are behind her hair. Perfect. Wonderful. This is bad. No, come out, please. Not like this. There we go. Okay, cool. Cool. Alright, progress is being made. Alright, let me go grab my controller, which is right beside me this time. Plug this in, and we can switch over to Trine. I'm gonna stop streaming just for a sec so that I can separate these two. But, please stick around if you're interested in Trine. Otherwise, hopefully I shall see you in another stream. I shall be right back. And thank you for watching. Hopefully you got a chance to unwind with our fun before we go into the ever so interesting things. Oh, you have to go intro?
And die.
Unfortunate. Well, give me just a sec to switch over.